Welcome, Collective, to Mona Lisa Tarot. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. We are going to tap into the energies surrounding the name Maria today, okay? So please take what resonates and leave what does not. Your name could be Maria, or maybe you're just connected to someone named Maria, or maybe you are just drawn to this message because Maria has been showing up in your life somewhere synchronistically. But let's tap into the energies. I have a few cards out here already on the board. I have also pre-channeled some messages that we will get into later, and we'll see how they connect with what comes out in the cards, okay? So what I'm seeing off rip is that someone connected to the energies of the name Maria is going through a very beautiful spiritual awakening or spiritual journey, right? And so at this point, as most of us who have gone through spiritual awakenings and spiritual journeys can attest, it seems that you've come to the point where your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors, whomever it is you work with, the Most High, is bringing you to the point to where you need to now balance the body. Okay, it seems like you've gone through this beautiful spiritual awakening, but there's something going on now in the body or in your health. Maybe you have health concerns. Maybe you work in the health industry. Maybe there is a spiritual gift you have in dealing with holistic health practices or something like that. Or maybe that's going to be an extension of something you're going to do in the future as you start to balance out and bring balance to your own physical body and your own health. It's looking like someone surrounding or connected to the name Maria energetically is going into or being asked to go into a spiritual practice or develop a spiritual practice. This could be something you're already working on. This could be an idea that you have to work on. And this message may be your confirmation that that is actually what you are here to do and provide and serve humanity with. On the environmentalist card, the word holistic is jumping out at me. The word holistic is jumping out at me. I have physically fit, harmony, health, fearless, perpetually curious, loves family, holistic, balance, transforming, removes obstacles. There's something along your spiritual journey, if you are Maria or if you connected to the energies of that name, that is going to branch off into the holistic health and wellness industry. Okay, and this may actually begin with you, like I said, working on bringing wellness and health to your own physical body, bringing balance to your own physical body. Maybe it's through your diet, maybe it's through exercise and being physically fit. This could be something that you've always been passionate about. So this could absolutely be for somebody who has always been passionate about being physically fit and being healthy and making healthy diet choices and food choices. There's a spiritual aspect to your curiosity as it relates to health and wellness, okay? There's something that is connected to your spiritual purpose for being here that has to do with health and wellness. All right. Please remember to take the parts of the message that resonate. I am not reading an individual. I am reading the collective energy surrounding the name Maria. All right. Now, what I'm hearing Spirit say is there's something about this health and fitness and wellness and holistic energy or industry that feels a bit overwhelming to you. I don't know if because you are having to deal with your own health issues first or bringing balance to yourself first, and that's something you've been working on and it's been challenging for you, okay? But your spirit team is saying they want you to continue to embrace the challenge. All right. If you haven't started to embrace the challenge and see it as an opportunity for growth. Because out of this, out of you mastering this aspect of spiritual balance that has to do with bringing the body into balance, you're going to be very knowledgeable. Okay, and you're going to find a lot of delight, a lot of joy in discovering what you're going to learn about how to bring the body into balance with the spiritual balance. Okay, so the relationship between the spirit and the body is going to be something that you're going to be very skillful at, or something that you may already be skillful at. Is something that you may want to go into. Okay, because I'm getting like three different scenarios. So please, some of you who are connected to this name energetically may already be operating in this industry, may already have started going into the phase of spiritual awakening where your spirit team begins to ask you to bring balance to your body, balance to your health. Okay, and some of you may just feel like you have an unction that it may be time for you to look at your actual physical health. All right, because that kind of happens in phases with some people. Like you go on a spiritual journey, and then the deeper you get or the higher you get in that spiritual awakening and evolution, then you start to feel like, okay, now I need to start making better choices about what I put into my body. What I'm hearing Spirit say is that some of you are going into the phase of your spiritual awakening where you're really coming into the understanding that your body is a temple. Okay, that your body is a temple. You're really starting to get a deep spiritual understanding as to what that means. What foods you should and should not be consuming, increasing your water intake, increasing your fruits, going into understanding different herbs and roots and things that you can introduce to your diet, that can help help you move away from some sort of unhealthy manifestation. Could be inflammation, could be mucus buildup, all of these things that that have to do with bringing balance to the body. This is something that someone who is listening to this message is being drawn into, right? Like you're being called into it. You may be seeing it as something that's going to be difficult or something that's going to be challenging, but they want you to be dedicated. Okay, enjoy the journey, and how you enjoy the journey is to focus more on the benefits, both spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Almost like they want you, I'm hearing them say that they want you to pursue this aspect of your spiritual journey, dealing with health and wellness, as a child would when they're at play or when they're learning a new skill. They just enjoy the learning. They get so much joy out of just learning something that they didn't know. And that is the energy that they want you to go into this new endeavor with, as it relates to physical fitness, health and wellness, holistic living, veganism, vegetarianism, pescatarianism, whichever one resonates with you. The whole transforming process is going to give you a skill set that I feel like you're going to be able to use later to serve humanity with, if you're not already in that industry. All right? If you're not already in that industry, you could be very passionate about herbology, things of that nature, learning about plants and the plants in your environment. Right outside your front door, right outside your back door, you could be very interested in researching different plants and how they can benefit and or harm the health and the wellness aspect of the physical body. Okay, so we're going to get into a little bit more energy here and see what Spirit has to say about it. All right, let's clarify snuff candle. Spirit, please. Balloon. Full of empty promises, lost, superficial, easily persuaded, vulnerable, detached, fragile. There could be some challenges that you are actually having in your physical body right now that you know, a lot of times when we go through spiritual awakenings, it does begin to affect us physically. We feel more tired. We feel a little lethargic at times because there's an actual shedding that's taking place in the spiritual energies around you. There's an adjusting to your aura field that's taking place. There's a lot going on that can kind of show up in the physical body. So this could be something that you've been experiencing where you're at the point in your spiritual journey where you're starting to see changes in your physical body, right? And sometimes that can be alarming. That can be very alarming. Because you don't quite understand really what's taking place. There could be something that your spirit team has been asking you to add to your diet or to your consumption. It could be something like ashwagandha. It could be something like drinking certain teas and things like that to help you balance yourself or help to balance your frequencies. It could be anything, right? And so maybe you feel a little confused as to what's going on with you physically. And so this message is confirming for you that what is going on with you physically is an extension of your spiritual awakening and your the spiritual shiftings. You could be experiencing more headaches. You could be experiencing just all kind of things, maybe body aches, body pains, things like that. And that is typical. A lot of people who go on their spiritual awakening, I've experienced that. Where when you start shedding certain traumatic experiences and traumatic injuries, it shows up in the body, right? It shows up in the body. So that is why we do things like meditation and stretching and inducing somatic releases and things like that, because we hold trauma in our physical bodies as well. And sometimes until we start healing, we don't really associate, anything that we're going through physically with the fact that we're holding on to trauma. It is after we start healing the trauma that we start seeing maybe this pain in my neck, this tension, these headaches has to do with trauma that I'm holding on to, fears that I'm holding on to, the tension that trauma produces shows up in the body. And so you could be going through some sort of a spiritual awakening and you're kind of not understanding what's going on with you physically. Okay? And so if your spirit team is giving you nudges to avoid certain foods or to add certain things to your diet, my advice would be for you to find yourself doing that. Okay? And as you find yourself doing that, I'm really feeling like it's going to lead you into something that's going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. Not just because you're going to feel better, but the knowledge that you're going to be given. You're now going to be able to use that knowledge to help other people. And I think that that's where the pleasure of it all is really going to step in for you, because you're going to find yourself to be very knowledgeable about different things as it relates to the connection that spiritual evolution has to physical health and wellness. All right. So there could be some things that you need to detach from that is creating things that you're experiencing physically in your own health. Okay? In your own health. Clarify, environmentalist. Don't dwell on the past, but focus on creating a brighter future. And maybe you've had some past health challenges of some sort, but I'm also getting the energy that as you begin to take away certain things that you're being led to take away and adding certain things, that there's absolutely the power of healing around you right now for whatever has been ailing you physically. So whatever you've been going through physically is not a permanent condition. No sickness really is permanent. It is all curable. It is all healable. Okay? Once you do your due diligence and embrace the challenge of learning how to heal certain aspects, whether it's relating to inflammation or, like I said, mucus buildup, or just your nerves, your nervousness, the anxiety, how to calm your nerves and your nervous system, right? As you begin to learn certain holistic approaches to that, you're going to start experiencing a certain healing that is going to be like an aha moment for you, and that is going to prompt you to go even deeper and really start uncovering how food and how the Most High has provided to all of us everything that we need to bring our bodies into balance. Okay, so they don't want you to dwell on whatever sicknesses you are experiencing right now or you've experienced in your past, because you are being called into the holistic ministry. Okay, so I'm also hearing that whatever you have been dealing with physically is reflecting to you that holistic health and wellness is your spiritual path. Okay, so if you've been experiencing something that's been imbalanced in the body, it's not because you just a sickly person, just meant to be sickly and just, you know what I mean? Like, it is literally a reflection. The universe and your spirit team is using your physical body and the condition of it to reflect to you that you have a chosen path to go down in the holistic and health and wellness industry and ministry. Okay, because we have to remember that the physical world, including our bodies, is just a reflection of our spiritual bodies and the spiritual world. So if in the physical right now you are experiencing a reflection that is showing up in your physical body as imbalance or unwellness, then they want you to embrace the challenge of bringing your body into balance. Okay, they want you to embrace that challenge and see it as an extension of your spiritual growth. See health and wellness as an extension of your spiritual growth. Okay, so clarify worth the effort. Let yourself surrender to the flow of life mysteries and currents. There's absolutely something that you're going to discover spiritually about why you're here. It's a much deeper purpose that's connected to health and wellness for you. There's a much deeper purpose. There's a much deeper purpose than just, I'm going to get me a flat stomach with a bunch of muscles and, you know what I mean, I'm going to be able to run 15 miles a day. And that's beautiful, but for you or for someone who is connected to the energy surrounding the name Maria, health and wellness has a much deeper purpose for you, and they want you to surrender to the first step by doing the work to bring your body into the balance that you have brought your spirit into. Okay, bring your body into the balance that you have brought your spirit into. And spirituality and health and wellness really do go hand in hand. But pretty much spirituality goes hand in hand with everything that is. But a lot of times you do see people who are deeply spiritual or on their spiritual journeys really start taking account to the things that they're putting inside of their bodies. It's a natural progression that takes place for most people who are on spiritual journeys, okay? But this is even deeper for you, because I'm feeling like there's a calling, there's a purpose and a destiny surrounding the ministry and industry of health and wellness for you, okay? So they want you to stay open to the challenges that may arise. All right. Surrender to the flow of the challenges, because what I'm picking up is that for someone connected to the energy around the name Maria, health and wellness as it relates to your personage is not the easiest thing, has not been the easiest thing. A lot of times discipline can be, obstacles we have to overcome, patience in getting results, things like that. So they want you to just surrender to the flow of the changes that you're going to experience in your physical body as you begin to move towards the things that you feel them telling you to do, okay? Clarified dilettante. We have Neptune. Escapism, delusion, hypochondria. Wow. Stuck in a trance, addictions, poser, naive, deception, misplaced flattery. And another card actually fell out that says shower. Okay. Starting fresh, good life ahead, abundance, elimination of negative thoughts, good health, purification, compliments, inner healing, and love. Now that hypochondria jumps out at me because I just heard that word a second ago and I didn't say it, but I heard that word when I was reading these before energies here. So I don't know if someone connected to the name Maria has a bit of that hypochondria energy, right? Like you think you're sick when you're really not sick. Or you think that there's something going on more so in your body than actually what is. This goes back to what I was saying in the beginning when I was saying sometimes when we are on spiritual awakenings and we're changing and we're shifting and we're evolving and we're shedding, it begins to show up in our bodies and we feel lost because we don't really know that that's supposed to happen, right? Like that's supposed to happen. There are going to be times where your energy is going to be everywhere. You're going to be up one day and tired the next day. You know what I'm saying? You're going to think that you're laying down for a 15-20 minute nap and you're going to sleep for 4 hours. You're going to go into meditation, think you're about to meditate for 15-20 minutes, and you're going to be asleep after the first 2 minutes. All of these are physical signs that show up in the body that are necessary, right? That are necessary because a lot of us have been carrying a lot of weight unconsciously, individually carrying the weight of the world. You understand what I'm saying? And as we begin to grow spiritually, we begin to lay some of that weight down. It is then that we start to kind of see how it's been affecting us. Like those headaches that you have 2 or 3 times a week is not just because you have migraines, but it's the stress on the job. It's the overextending yourself to other people that is creating the condition. It's all of these things. So as we start to balance our personal life as it relates to our spiritual perception and how we're going to navigate the physical world spiritually from a balanced perspective, then we start seeing, the migraines that I've been experiencing for 10 years is not just because I have some sort of condition. It is because I've been stressed on my job, or I've been overextending myself to my children, or I've been giving too much of myself. And the migraines is the way that the body is letting you know to slow down. The migraines is the way that the body is letting you know that you need to evaluate your thought process. What are you thinking about? Like you may be carrying too much negativity in your thoughts. So your crown is heavy, right? You need to lighten your load as it relates to your crown chakra. If you're having stomach issues or anything like that, that's letting you know that there is an imbalance in your solar and sacral chakra, and could even be in your root chakra, right? Because they're kind of all connected. So the body is indeed like a sanctuary, okay? And so when we are out of alignment spiritually, it shows up physically. But they don't want you to think that you're just a sickly person. You're not sickly. You're going through a spiritual awakening. And yes, that is going to expose possibly ways that you have overworked yourself physically, overfed yourself physically, right? Like all of these things are going to come up, okay? But there's something that you are going to learn as you begin to embrace this level of your spiritual awakening, this phase of it. There's something that you're going to be able to learn that's going to help you see the deception in the health and wellness industry, for one, but also where you're going to start to see, oh, I'm not actually sick. I'm actually going through a spiritual awakening. Okay? And so it comes a point, from my experience, where not saying anything against Western medicine, hospitals and doctors and getting physicals and things like that. Not saying that you shouldn't get those things, not saying that they are not accurate, but when you start to grow spiritually, you start to see how the Western modernized medical industry is not really equipped for healing. Okay, so it's nothing wrong with going and getting a physical, but when you are talking about bringing healing to what has come up in the doctor's office for you, then they're not really going to be able to help you with that. The only thing they can really do is medicate the issue, and a lot of times the medication begins to bring on other issues. So this may be why your spirit team is asking you to really look into the holistic approach to bring balance to you. All right? To bring balance to you. Something you're going to learn is going to allow you to escape some sort of a cycle or a pattern in your physical body. And then from that, you will be able to assist other people how to deal with addictions, and things of that nature. All right. But it's going to be a fresh start for you, what you're going to learn. And it's going to produce a lot of abundance. This is really, really giving me that your ministry, your purpose is in the holistic and health and wellness service. Okay. And it's going to bring a lot of abundance for you. It's going to allow you, as you begin to educate yourself, it's going to allow you to eliminate a lot of negative thoughts that you may be having about your physical condition. All right. It's going to bring you into better health. It's going to help you purify. And if you're doing a change in your diet, we have to deal with the heavy metals that we've consumed by eating certain things, the inflammation from eating certain things. There's a lot that goes into going through a purging and a purifying of the physical body as a reflection of your spiritual growth. Okay, so there's a lot of inner healing that's going to take place as you begin to educate yourself on various tools and methods that you can begin to apply to move you into this aspect of your spiritual path. All right, let's get some different energies out here. Where's that other deck? What'd I do with it? Let's see. Oh, here we go. What does Maria, or someone who is connected to the energy around the name Maria, need to know right now? What is the most important thing that they need to know at this point? What is the most important thing that they need to know at this time concerning this Okay, I have the reverse Eight of Pentacles. And I have the Five of Wands in the upright. You may feel conflicted about something, or you may be in some sort of a challenge because there's something you haven't mastered yet. There's something you haven't mastered yet. Wow. I'm definitely not taking all of those. Now, y'all already know that's too many. Okay. There's something you haven't quite learned yet. So you feel challenged. Or there's a lot of, there could even be a lot of people around you. I don't know why this jumped out at me, but you see how this girl back here in the white and this one here in the front, they all have on those masks. I don't know why this jumped out at me, but they really reminded me of the COVID mask. I mean, I don't know if this has something to do with that. I don't know if this has something to do with that. I'm not keeping this because it kind of fell out. But there's a challenge here. This could be a challenge, some sort of virus that you are feeling like you have. Or someone around you does. You could work with people who are dealing with certain diseases. You could already work in that industry. Maybe you are in the Western medical industry, and you're feeling a call to change your practice and go the more holistic approach. That may resonate for somebody. That may resonate for somebody. You already work in the medical industry, but the Western modernized medicine aspect of it, and you're feeling called or pulled to go through a change of how you apply what you know in a more holistic way, like getting out of the Western way of looking at healing. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles. Why is it in the reverse? We have the reverse Devil. The reverse Devil talks about releasing negative thoughts, limiting beliefs. Yeah. I'm gonna get some more energies out here, but again, you could be really thinking about changing your direction, the direction you're going professionally. We have the reverse Three of Swords, recovery, healing, okay? Healing. Maybe you are a nurse. Maybe you are a doctor. Maybe you are a gynecologist. Maybe you have been thinking about going into doulaship. Maybe you, are in the elder care industry. I don't know. You could be in any aspect of that as an occupation. But you also are a divine spiritual being going through a spiritual awakening. And now you are feeling like, man, like maybe I could be more helpful to the world by applying what I've learned spiritually to what I do occupationally, right? And so the Three of Swords is giving healing. So that is either the case, that is going to resonate for some, and for some of you, you may be in need of a healing. The Fool in the reverse with the Nine of Wands. You may, you know, be in need of a healing yourself physically in some aspect. And it's almost like I'm feeling like a sense of doubt as to whether you can actually accomplish something this time. Actually do it this time. All right? This Nine of Wands is about the wounded healer energy. Okay? And to get to this energy, it requires discipline. That's why she looks like she's been working out. That's why she looks like she's been doing some yoga or some running or some I don't know, karate kicking, okay? Some Taibo, I don't know, shadow boxing. She gets to be the wounded healer not by just laying around and just hoping that she gets better, but she becomes the wounded healer by doing the work to heal the wounds. Do you understand? So there's an aspect of, for someone here, that you are afraid of something because you do not know whether you can actually accomplish being healed from something. And going back to occupationally, you may be doubting that you can be that person to branch off from modern Western medicine and medical and that industry, and branch off and maybe start a holistic clinic. There's something that is holding you back, because the reverse fool talks about fear. But fear of what? Fear of the unknown. Fear of not knowing if it will work. If something will work as it relates to healing. Give us more. Three of Cups. Clarify. But this is something that's going to bring a lot of celebration. A lot of celebration. This is something that you may also be celebrated for. The world. Look, I can't. The world. You can absolutely accomplish this, whatever this is for you as it relates to health and wellness. Okay, you can absolutely, and there's something that you are going to be celebrated for. The world could be online. The world could be, maybe you want to video journal your health and wellness journey. Okay, this could just be the world at large. If you are considering opening up a holistic clinic or going into, more holistic medicine that will serve the world, this is something that you're going to be celebrated for, and you're going to be celebrating because it is actually going to be accomplished if it's not already, right? If it's not already, it's going to be accomplished as you put in the work. So whatever doubt and fear you have about it can be quelled by you choosing to embrace the challenge and going with the flow of the process going forward. Don't kick against it. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight it. Don't allow your fear. Don't try to predetermine what it's going to be. Just acknowledge that you have and you feel a spiritual unction to go towards a certain path. This is when we have to trust the universe. This is when we have to trust the Most High. This is when we have to trust our ancestors and our guides. This is the whole point for us going on the spiritual journey, to bring healing to ourselves, but also to tap ourselves into our higher self, our spirit guides, our spirit team, and surrender to their guidance. Because I always say that your spirit team can see your life from a different and a higher vantage point. Okay? They have a higher vantage point. They're not going to make you do it. They're not there to control you, but they have a higher vantage point. And when you know that, it makes it easier to surrender to their guidance. They wouldn't be telling you to do something if you were going to fail. Right? Like if you were going to fail at it, Why would they be pushing you towards it? If it wasn't accomplishable, why would they be pushing you towards it? And this is where we learn how to trust, to really trust, because we've been so dependent and so domesticated to have to worry about the government telling me what to do, my mom and daddy telling me what to do, the boss on the job got to tell me what to do. Everybody has always had to tell me what to do. From the time I came out of the womb, I've been told what to do, right? I've had my personal power stripped from me. So when we go through spiritual awakenings, we go through them to reclaim personal power, personal willpower. And we work with our spirit team, utilizing their wisdom and their vantage point to direct our journey. They're like your GPS system. They're going to always get you there. If they have to reroute you, they're going to get you to your destination. And so this is when we have to trust. We have to put the fear of the unknown to the side and just put in the work. And just put in the work that they're asking you to put in. Okay? But there is a celebration. Once you complete this, there is something that you are going to be ecstatic about. Whether this is a going from an occupation to a vocation, right? Like whether accomplishing that is what it is, whether getting your body in balance is what you're going to be celebrating. Tell me more. Seven of Wands. Clarify. That's the challenge. They're not saying it's not going to be challenging, but they want you to embrace it. The Six of Wands in reverse. The Ten of Wands. The challenge is the way you perceiving it. The challenge is the way you are perceiving whatever this is. Whether this is some sort of a career change, stepping into your ministry, or whether this is just you working on your own health and wellness goals. Because it almost feels, because you go from the Seven of Wands in the upright to the Six of Wands in reverse. So it's giving that you have these ups and you've been having these ups and downs. If this message resonates with you you or somewhere around you that you're connected to, okay, it's like there's ups and downs where you are ready to meet the challenge, but then you stop. You start working out and then you stop. You start eating better and then you stop. Because you start to feel overwhelmed and burdened, and so you put it down, because this Ten of Wands in the upright is about the being able to put down burdens. So this could be a pattern and a process that you have been going through as it relates to your own health and wellness. This could also be a lot of things going on around you in your life that kind of get in the way of you being able to focus on it for an extended period of time. Like there could be a lot of things that you are having to kind of deal with. That could be slowing down the process of you being able to put down the burden, put down the negative thoughts, put down, not completing something. because I think, most of us can attest to starting a new diet, starting a new workout program, and not continuing with it. We go good for about a month, 2 months, 3 months. We join gyms, and then we go for like 3 weeks, and then we don't go no more. And I don't think there's a human being alive that probably, well, at least in America, because in other places of the world, they don't even have to have gyms because their lifestyle affords them to use their bodies a certain way. So they don't even have to really work out, right? But in more modern countries, we have to, have gyms and all this other shit because we basically have a culture that does not afford for us to be able to, use our bodies every day in a certain way. So we have to allot time. Okay. So this is giving me the starting and the stopping, which is being reflected in your physical life, because there's something that you are still holding on, like you're still believing that something is so challenging that it can't be done. And it is very challenging. This is when you just kind of take it slow and embrace the flow, right? Like I have to tell myself all the time, it took you years to get to where your body weight is right now. Don't expect for you to shed the weight you want to shed. Don't expect for it to be gone in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 4 months. You have to be consistent. As consistent as you was to get where you are, you have to be as consistent to get out of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations when we are on these physical body health journeys. We have unhealthy expectations, and then we put unhealthy strategies in place that they're not even doable because you're setting unrealistic goals, right? And see, these are all of the thought processes that the mind creates to cause us to stumble. Okay? So what has to be addressed is the lack of confidence in accomplishing it. And when you address that and you just embrace the challenge, embrace the journey, and flow with it, then you won't create unrealistic goals for yourself, because you will be able to see that that's unrealistic. Let me set a strategy in place to tackle this issue that I know I can do, and then as I become disciplined with doing that, then I will add more. Like I'll commit myself to 10 jumping jacks every morning. Now, is that going to make a big impact in 2 weeks? Probably not. But if you have to say, okay, I can do 10 jumping jacks every morning before I go to work for the next 6 months, right? That is realistic. And you may see and you may feel a difference. Okay? And then after you accomplish that, you're not only accomplishing just whatever physical changes you do, even if they're small or minimal, you accomplish that, but then you're also accomplishing the discipline. So once you accomplish the discipline, you can say, okay, now I'm going to do 20 jumping jacks every morning. You can increase systematically, slowly, with flow, right? With flow, not trying to cram it all and go on a crash diet and a crash exercise and you know what I mean? And the whole time you're studying your herbs, you're studying your fruits, you're studying your body. What causes you to have an increase in bloating, and what causes you to have an increase in swelling? What is causing you? You know what I'm saying? Like on my spiritual journey, I recently just got told by my ancestors that I was lactose intolerant. And I laughed because I had no clue. I had no clue all this time that I was lactose intolerant. So they was like, so just cut back the dairy and try it and see if you don't believe us. I said, all right, I cut back, because I'm a fan of dairy, right? But I cut back. We'll see. And sure enough, like the changes that I began to experience in a beneficial way, in a balanced way in my stomach, it was like very noticeable. But what blew me was that I had been so used to living with this imbalance that I didn't even know I had one. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know I had one until I took them up on the challenge to just cut back dairy for a while. And then I could see, you know what I mean? Like, the gas and stuff, because, you know, some people have lactose intolerance to the point to where they can't have no dairy at all. Or they'll be vomiting and they'll have diarrhea. It wasn't that bad for me, but it was just like, it was still noticeable. And this is what I feel that someone connected to the name Maria may also resonate with. Small changes, testing yourself, introducing things to the body, introducing different herbs, different tinctures, learning about things, you know, what you can add and what you can take away, and getting to know your body, loving on your body and whatever condition it is in, is what changes the vibration surrounding you. And it is a direct extension of your spiritual awakening and journey. Okay? This has been the collective name reading surrounding the energies of Maria. Okay, thank you so much for tapping in with me, guys. I really appreciate you. If this is your first time viewing the channel or stopping by the channel, I really appreciate you tapping in with me. And please, if you feel led, join the channel, join our family by subscribing. Shoot a like button, hit the like button, shoot your girl a thumbs up, leave me a comment about how this energy resonated for you, this reading resonated for you, and I will see you guys on the next message. Okay.